Today we are going to transform judgments about ourselves into energy which is accessible for us today in a way we want to use it. The judgments about ourselves are a symptom which keep us small, which keep us not able to act, which keep us in dark feelings and thoughts. So how do we do that? We are using the NEUROGRAPHICA algorithm of S.C.O.R.E, and we are going to use and activate resources of the past, lead them to the symptom, and create a desired outcome. So be curious. It's an interesting project for sure. I'm going to use an A3 format because there will be a lot to draw. And today I'm also going to use the waterproof markers. It's good to have them like in different sizes, like small, a little bigger, and also the bigger ones for later on for the field lines. And I'm using those because I'm intending to use highlighters today. If I'm using the highlighters, I need waterproof markers. So let's start. This is the short version of this video. So if you're interested in drawing yourself, I highly recommend to also check out the long version of this video where you can follow along as I do. We activate our topic by writing down words in 2 minutes on that topic. I'm sure you found some judgments, but I want to say something about that because like my darkest judgments about myself, I have been able to already like let go. But what I find is that everything like you learned is also like in your development coming back in some kind of spirals, like you're moving upwards, but thoughts still come back. Maybe, for example, the devaluating thoughts about yourself. They might not be as intense as before, but if they are there, then they want to be seen and they want to be released. So there are more layers, like, and that's why I decided to have this drawing. So I can read 3 of my most prominent judgments. I'm not able, stupid, slow, and unlovable. So let's see how that transforms. S.C.O.R.E is a complex and interesting algorithm. We start with a timeline, which is a neuroline. We mark the place for our symptom and find a shape that represents our symptom, our topic. And then we find in the past causes that led to that topic. So my topic, as you know, is judgments about myself, and the first shape I drew was the shape for my mean mother. The second shape I drew was for I am different. That was the feeling of my youth and childhood, and it's still present today, so that's why I still have a shape for that. And the third shape for the causes in the past is comparing myself to others. since these topics, like the causes that led to my symptom and also the symptom itself, are represented by pokey shapes, like by lots of sharp angles, the first thing I do is I draw round harmonious shapes around all these pokey edges and harmonize them. I work carefully on rounding and connecting all the intersections and create new lines as well in between the shapes to dissolve this painful pokey shapes. So if your shapes are also pokey, then this is a major part of the work, to take your time and integrate all these spikes, make them round, make the intersections smooth, and create a new impression, a peaceful, harmonious impression. By that, we gain the energy contained in these states of the past, and we neutralize that energy and make it available for today. And after I did that, I was able to find the shape of a very big circle, which is the most harmonious shape, and I place it representing my desired outcome in the future. And I'm activating all my causes now by drawing neural lines in them and leading them to the symptom. So all of those energies which are saved and stored in those causes now are led to that symptom and are being activated for today. The next step is finding shapes for resources that support our topic, our subject. And I found a square, the shape of a square, for my courage as a resource, and a very big circle which didn't fit on the sheet, representing my creativity. And it's okay if the shape doesn't fit, because our drawings are always only one part of the whole system, like the world and everything that is actually is the whole system. So I found a third shape as a resource, which is consistency. And I'm working carefully on integrating and rounding all these intersections of the shapes. The shapes all intersect as well, but that is not a problem. My outcome is the state of presence in the moment, of being in my power, and of calm. And I'm still gaining and activating all the energies of the resources, and now I'm leading them to the outcome by drawing lines in the outcome. They all come from the resources I found, from the causes I harmonized, and they become available for today by doing that. Rounding is necessary as always. Rounding makes our new neural connections visible for our brains. It's one of the most important things to do, very carefully, to take your time with that. Creating new impressions is can be done very slowly, because think of how long it took to create the impressions which don't serve you anymore today. It took all your life, most probably. So in this next step, we are finding outcomes. And I'm finding 3 shapes, 3 circles. One is very big down there, which is standing for withdrawal into the nature, to myself, being by myself as an outcome, which is necessary for me to be in the moment, to be present, to be in my strength. I found another shape for spiritual practices, and the shape I'm working at the moment on is giving out as an outcome of, as an effect of my outcome. So if I'm present in the moment, if I'm in my own energy and power, I'm also able to give out. I need the time for withdrawal, and I also need my spiritual practice for that. All this becomes visible here on the drawing for me, for my brain. If you draw that drawing, you will have your own shapes and your own meanings. So you will find your own meanings, and they will become meaningful to your brain and to your future. Like, they will determine how you act from now onwards. Starting with the colors, I clearly felt that I need to draw the shape of my outcome in dark blue. This blue is not yet dark enough, but it will be soon. And I'm using the colors intuitively where I feel I need the special energy of those colors. It's quite obviously usually because you feel like you connected meaning to your shapes and they have a certain color. And if it doesn't appeal to you that easily, you can pick the color which you feel most drawn to at the moment and start with the element, like with this shape you feel most drawn to at the moment, and start coloring using your intuition. It will lead you to the right choices. You do whatever adds more energy to your shapes. With the colors, we connect to the field energy even more and even deeper. We make all these new imprints visible for our brains. I decided to color the shapes of my resources in a flow not individually. They had dissolved, they had changed their purpose, they have changed their meanings into something positive, and now they create one flow actually that serves my drawing. So while coloring, we always make sure that we color more than 2 segments, and if white segments are still on the paper, it's also a color. So we need to make sure that we don't leave single white segments or any other segments that are only single. We want to create harmonious and integrated impressions. So now I'm finding field lines that are lines more visible than the others. They cross the drawing from one end to the other. They are all neuro lines. They don't repeat themselves at any point. They flow organically. And ideally, they go where we don't expect to see them. I also decided on an fixing shape and drew its outlines most prominent with a thick line. This is my outcome. And here is the solution to create the dark blue that I wanted to see there on my outline by mixing the 2 different colors, the purple and the light blue. Create my dark blue, which I needed there. So in the last step, we're using the pencils to make our drawing as beautiful as possible and bring it to the state of satisfaction. When we feel satisfied by our drawing, our solution is very prominent and visible to our brain. And we take our time and work on that step until we feel satisfied. Yes. So now I want to show you how that looks. That's how far I got at the moment. So I hope you like your drawings and you brought it to a state of satisfaction as well as I did. If you're not done at this point, it doesn't matter. Keep on working on that. Finish it off. And now we're going to explore what it did, like to make it visible for our brain. And we will be writing at the back, again, words in 2 minutes, any kind of associations which we have now after drawing. Not limited to the topic anymore. Write it down, figure check it out, what happened after the drawing now. So let's do it. So I have a lot of joy. 3 times, 4 times I wrote joy. Grounded, this moment, valuable, able, overflowing, full heart, fearless, no danger, love for people, create, satisfaction, share, move, giving out, guided, competent, energy, focus. Yes! Yes! So I hope this drawing is as valuable to you as it is for me. I can already feel what it does. I'm looking forward to experience the results and to see them in my life, in my behavior, in my thoughts. And it feels wonderful. So, hope you feel the same. Thank you for watching. Thank you for drawing with me. It's a pleasure to share these invaluable tools with you. And leave a comment, please, what it does to you. I am so curious. See you next time.